al lado de los que estaba cerrado. ¿Cómo lo hicieron? No se sabe, pero lo hicieron. Ahí al lado de él. Increíble. Increíble. Pero hoy en día es...
Me robaron en Burdeos. El otro que se llevó una puerta aquí. Tenía esa puerta abierta.
It is still handmade in town. And here we are in a little square where we can still find it in century buildings. Look at the tiles always lining the main facades of the houses for better protecting them from the humid weather of the town. As it rains here quite very often in winter, we use the tiles for better protecting the houses. Like that, the water of the rain will not be infiltrated on the walls of the house. If you look to your left side, in a few moments, you'll be seeing the Clérigos Church. So, if you do look to your left, so we'll be seeing the 18th century church of Clérigos, and behind it, here represented because he was very loved. It was always a liberal town. It was here where the liberal wars were organized in 1834, where he came, Peter IV, the local inhabitants of Porto. Anyway, in Porto there were wars. On your left side, we can also see the Congregados Church, built in homage to Saint Anthony, the one known like Saint Anthony at the railway station. On your left, please look to your left side. You can see the beautiful glazed tile on white and blue colors in order to imitate century. And on your right side, we can find the cathedral being built on the 12th century, began to be built on the 12th century, finished on the late 14th. And as you can see from here, it looks really like a fortress, with buttresses, with merlons above, looking like a fort. Right on the top of the hill, between Christians and Arabs. And later on there were here many revolutions as well. And on your left side we can find now the St. John's Theatre, being the most important theatre in town. This is the square, Austrian Street, where on it we can find the Majestic Cafe, being the most characteristic cafe we have in town, the most beautiful, located on the street on your right side, Santa Catarina. And the Majestic Cafe was created already in 1921, decorated in Art Deco, and being a meeting point for everyone coming here to the downtown. And it is open, that cafe, all night long until midnight, so all day and in the evening until midnight. January 1891, it was the date by then that the first revolution against the monarchy was here organized in Porto, but it was not successful because Republic was only declared later on in 1910. And in front of the church, on the top of it. All these very fine buildings on your right side, they belong to important banks and companies. And it is on your left side where it was a cafe in the past, so it is right here on your left side. It would be a cafe in the past, nowadays it is a restaurant, and it lost all the charm, all the characteristic cafe of the beginning of the 20th century, like it was opened in 1903. being the first beautiful cafe we had in town. And in Porto there are quite many cafes all over the downtown, because people like to stay in a cafe not only the time to have a quick cup of coffee, but the time to meet their friends, to read a newspaper, to study, being really a meeting point for everyone in town. So if you go up the next street on your right side, you will be in Santa Catarina Street, in the pedestrian street, being very well known for its shops. There's also a shopping mall there, Via Catarina Square, where in front of us, on the of the king, who came here to get married to the English princess Philip of Lancaster, being the father and the mother of Henry the Navigator. And now we are going to cross the Aliados Avenue, the main avenue, where on your right side you can find the City Hall, built from 1920 to 1957. Portugal went in the First War. Already on the Second World War, Portugal was neutral. Building built on the late 19th century for the University of Porto, we have from 1911 on, and we call it Lion Square because of the fountain, where there are some sculpted lions on your left side. And in front of us we can already see the lateral facade of the tiles, already recent from the beginning of the 20th century, but in
We're leaving Porto today, we're going to Salamanca, Spain. Dentro Madrid. It's a typical Portuguese house. All these house. Porto.
I had a table and a deck chairs and wondered if I coffee and tea making facilities. I made myself a couple of cups of tea and sat down, and that was very nice, very nice.
One that turned out to be herbal, it smells
Oh yeah, that I don't like that, but I drank it.
I made the other one.
That had a necessity. That's all I had left.
Make sure that you carry with you something just in case, because it could be, as I say, cold. Actually, we could even find some snow.
Where's Lester? He didn't say ooh.
Avila is the highest capital of province, so that's why it could be like this tomorrow. And the next place has hit the Iberian Peninsula. Seems like the winter is here finally. And
The music center, I remember that from last night. President. The UFOs have landed.
It looks out of place, doesn't it? In the a bit modernistic in the the old building.
Well, at least they didn't tear down all the old buildings.
No.
but the temperature could be all of a sudden then the next day in the middle of the winter 18, 20 Celsius one day. You know, one of these days I will
There's that statue they were talking about defeating Napoleon.
espera un momento, que lo voy a contar, si vuelvas contando tú, digo, pero vas contando, pero estás contando. On automobiles and buses and his
Suficiente coche para llevar a la gente a frente.
and the army, the French army didn't have enough people during the First World War to take.
Do people here also speak
You know, we are going to cross the Arrábida Bridge. That is the one that we used to enter Porto. So remember that from there you have a really magnificent view of the city, how it meets the Douro with the Atlantic. But yeah, it was, I believe, Syrian. in Portugal, and Portugal got to the final that lost against Greece. Here gives different perspective of the duelo.
So it's okay. Don't worry.
To the left and to the right.
We were on that side.
As to the right, you can see what
Porto, Portugal.